Ghana is concerned now about the land border closure in Nigeria and its effect on bilateral trade. Ghanaian Minister of Foreign Affairs led a team to the office of his Nigerian counterpart in Abuja to express these concerns. Moyo Thomas was there.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs receives his counterpart from Ghana and the Minister of Trade. The Ghanaian team wants the Nigerian government to address the collateral damage caused by the border closure to its traders. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Integration and the Minister of Trade from Ghana seeks access for imports from Ghana as their trucks have been stocked at the Benin Republic side of the border.
A concern that we felt we must bring to you, and this is to do with the issues being faced by Ghanaian exporters from Ghana into Nigeria, and the difficulties they are facing as a result of the closure of the border between Benin and Nigeria.
We are not going to convene a joint economic cooperation commission to discuss a matter like this. And I think that I'm very pleased that His Excellency and his team has provided basically a path towards resolving this issue.
The Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs gives assurances that a modality will be worked out. He also requested that the team meet with the Nigerian Minister of Commerce, Trade and Investment. One of the concerns over Nigeria's policy on border closure is its effect on ECOWAS protocol of free movement of persons and goods.
You are here.
This, the Nigerian minister assures, will be maintained. He also insists that the policy is not intended to work against any country.
It's targeting criminal activities, not countries. In addressing a particular country's issue, it will not be a disadvantage to any other country, because for us it's really just a measure to address a particular mischief.
ECOWAS, as a regional body, has made efforts to ensure trade connectivity, market integration, and simplified movement of goods across the region. Article 3 of the ECOWAS Treaty, which Nigeria is signatory to, also stipulates removal of trade barriers. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's join Moyo Thomas now for more as we get this development. Earlier in the week, Moyo will see the Nigerian Customs and Immigration Service bask in the euphoria of arrest and seizure made as a result of the partial closure of the borders. It appears Ghana is not excited about it. So what's the way forward for Nigeria now?
If I get you right, you said Ghana is excited about it.
It's not excited, apparently.
Yes, is not excited. They're very worried about the closure because it's affecting them, and we have bilateral relations with a lot of these countries, especially ECOWAS countries, and the fact that their goods cannot come into Nigeria at the moment is a great concern. Beyond just Ghana, I know there are so many other West African countries that are affected by this closure, and the concern at the moment is what is going to happen to ECOWAS protocol that Nigeria is also a signatory to. This protocol says there must be no barrier to movement of goods across the region. And with this border closure, there's definitely no movement of goods. So it's not entirely no movement of goods, but the land borders cannot, they cannot cross the land borders. So this is the concern at the moment.
At some point, the federal government feels this move is gaining so much success that it was considering a permanent closure. And now it has the ECOWAS limitations to abide with. Do you consider the federal government in the fix on this issue?
The permanent closure at the moment, there's been so many analysis that is for and against the closure. But the federal government has said it needs to fight insecurity, and the land borders is the source of arms and ammunition coming into the country, and they need to curb this. And if actually this can be done, you are closing the land borders, and we can end this insecurity, kidnapping, abduction situation in the country, then we might be good for it at the end of the day. But if we still cannot get an end to insecurity, we need to find a solution, and we then need to know that closing the borders might not actually be the answer. But there are still so many arguments for and against this closure.
All right, keep an eye on this development for us as we see how Nigeria make way with the ECOWAS Protocol of Free Movement as regards the closure of the borders. Moyo Thomas for us live from Abuja.